Just one of them days that a girl goes through when I'm angry inside. Don't want to take it out on you. Just one of them days. Welcome to Comfy Cozy Knitting. My name is Laura Harden, and this is not a singing podcast at all. I am just in one of those days. I'm in one of those moods. I'm actually quite surprised that I'm even recording right now, but I have an opportunity and I honestly don't know when I'll have another. And I thought I do want to show you my progress. This is going to be a short and sweet episode. I've been knitting. I've been gardening. I've been having a good old time. And actually right after this, despite how tired I am and despite what I'm feeling, I'm going to make myself go out there for 5 minutes. It's about to be 8 o'clock soon. It's cooling down to go plant some seeds for fall. And I've been looking forward to this. So I really want to do it, but I really don't have the energy. So I told myself 5 minutes. I'm just going to go out for 5 minutes. I don't have to plant all my seeds in one evening. Like, that's how I usually am. I just want to do something. I want to get it done. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just do 5 minutes. I'm going to make this very doable, very sustainable. And then I will continue hopefully reading something and knitting on my socks before I retire to bed. So that's what's going on over here. And yeah, let's get into it. So I don't have any finished whips. In fact, I am wearing my Cherry Swirl socks, even though it's summer, you know, the AC towards the evening, my feet get cold and I'm like, ooh, let me put on my socks. And I am very much enjoying them. And, but I already showed those to you, so no need to pull those off my feet. So let's go into our whips. If you're new to knitting podcasts, which I highly doubt you are, but maybe you are, a whip is a work in progress. WIP, work in progress whip. And my first one that I'm going to show you is my Felix pullover. I'm just pausing, so I'm thinking, if this is your first time watching a knitting podcast and you're watching this one, thank you for being here. And to all of you, thank you for being here. Yeah, if you like it, click like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. I'm not good about saying those things. I usually think about it when I'm editing and I just like snap a sticker on the video. So I got a little mess here, but this is my whip. It's the Felix pullover by Amy Christophers. And this angle with the camera, I fear you're not getting like the best view here. Let me try something. Actually, I'm not going to mess with the setup. I'll back up. Maybe this will be better. I've noticed in my past videos that sometimes like everything I'm doing is so unnecessary. So maybe you're seeing this just fine. Yeah, so as you can see, I'm really close to being done. Honestly, if I didn't have the deadline that I have for the socks you're about to see, I would be done. Every time I think about picking this up, I'm like, oh, but I really want my loved one to have these socks. And so I just need to get it done. And so this is just not a priority. And if I am picking it up, it's because I'm feeling some pain in my hands or my arm, and I just want to switch up the needle size I'm using, which I don't usually do. So I'll talk about that and how my arms are doing in a bit. But I'm almost done. So these are, I think I'm using size 10 needles. And I knit the hem and the collar with size 9. I think that's right. It could be 10.5 needles with a size 9. It's size 10. I think it's size 10 because I went up to 10.5 on the sleeves based on some advice in another pattern. So that's that. I don't have much to say about it. I'm knitting it in Knit Picks Bravo Worsted. I've tried it on. If I didn't share it in the last video, I'll put some pics here of myself with it on. I don't want to try it on now because I have my needles in, and I don't want to have to pick up stitches, and I just took the string out to get back to knitting the body, and I just don't want to do it over again. So I do have those, like, you guys, I'm just not, my brain is like, bleh, bleh, bleh. So I'm just going to skip that detail. Just suffice it to say, I don't feel like putting it on. I'll put some pictures up. I like how it feels. It looks really good. And if I could do anything differently, I think I will knit this again. I think I might try something different on the collar. But I actually do enjoy how relaxed this collar is. I am wondering how it will hold up over time. So we'll just see. I see this being like one of those go-to, comfy, don't take it too seriously. This is not so nice that you gotta, like, what do you say? I don't need to be pretty about it. Like, I don't need to take it too seriously. Like, I'm gonna take care of it because I spent time making it, but like, this is just comfy, cozy to the T, right? Like, it's like a sweatshirt kind of. I'm not taking it too seriously. And so I think the comfort, the relaxed look is great. My next whip, I'm just chuckling to myself, and I'm gonna keep that thought to myself because my brain is just wacky right now, and I don't want to sabotage my own recording. So here we go. These are the Trompe Monde socks by Summer Lee, and I'm knitting these in tandem. Usually they're more closely, like they're usually like in a very similar spot, but I got to a point where my other sock, the yarn just kept getting tangled on itself, like the end of the ball of yarn or cake is wrapping itself around like the working yarn, and I have to keep dealing with it, and I'm annoyed with it. So I just was like, you know what, I'll come back to you. But these are my socks. Ooh, zoom in, come out. So as you can see, I am on the toe of this sock, so I'm almost done. I'm hopeful. Like, I got here pretty quick, and I'm hopeful that I'll finish this pair of socks next week. I don't know how some people do it. Like, they get so much done in, like, I don't know, 2 weeks. They can knit a pair of fingering weight socks. I've never been able to do that as much as I knit socks. And people talk about, like, Laura, you're always knitting socks, and it seems like I'm getting a lot done. But based on like the Facebook groups and cows I've been in, I'm like, oh man, like, I wish I could knit that fast. But I think I'll finish these. It will be a stretch. I might be pushing it. My arms might not like me very much, but I think I could finish them next week and get them in the mail because I really want my loved one to have these socks while they're getting their treatment. If you didn't hear in my last episode, I have someone in my life who's dear to me who has cancer and is undergoing chemo treatment, radiation, and I decided to knit them some socks, and I wasn't sure if they were going to need it based on the climate and where they're at, but somebody else who's more familiar with what this is like was like, no, like, I think this person will be happy to have these. And it turns out this person was sharing online about their treatment, and they said that when they're there, it's freezing. And I was like, okay, great. I think this will be a blessing. However, it's not a blessing if it's not there. So I need to finish it. And as far as my arms go, it's not too bad. I am experiencing some pain at times. I need to be better about my posture, where I'm sitting, how I'm sitting. I definitely have relaxed in that some. And then I feel like I always have issues when I have a deadline. Like, when I feel some type of stress, some type of need to keep on knitting, it's not being driven by, I just want to knit right now. It's like, I need to knit right now to get this done. I'll start to experience that pain. And so I'm also trying to remember stretches that I find helpful. So I tend to get really tight right here and right here. And so I hope you can see that. And so a lot of times you see people stretch, and I do like that stretch. But I learned through some type of seminar I went to online, this one where you have your arms out and then one is up and the other stays down. Kind of like there's a stretch like this in yoga, I think, but you're like facing like this way. And anyway, so like, all right, so it's like this. And when you do that, for some reason, the rotation in your shoulder and all that, it gives a really good stretch. And then you switch it. You can just feel it. If it's tight, you can really feel it. And it's different than if I just had them both up. There's just something about that opposite rotation that is really helpful. And so I am trying to do that. I'm really getting into it right now because I need it. Whew, okay. So I do that. I have like a ball that I roll my arm on my desk over that spot, and that helps some. I haven't needed to get the brace back on my wrist, or I haven't used the carpal tunnel like brace things that you snap over your forearm and it kind of puts some tension, like a pressure point on there. I haven't needed that either, or at least I haven't turned to it. So I'm keeping an eye on it. I'm not just like in a lot of pain and just knitting anyway, but I remember there was a day where I ended up taking a break all that day, and I was like, oh man, like this is happening again. Now, to be fair, again, I don't think that it's just knitting. A lot of times when I'm stressed and just bad habits, I can be on my phone a lot, and I do this a lot. Like I don't do the little swipey thing when I'm texting, and I don't have a little thing on the back to help me hold my phone or whatever. So I'm just constantly like this is always like this a lot. And when you're knitting, there's a similar thing happening sometimes with how I knit. And so I think that the combination of the two definitely doesn't help. But if I could, you know, unplug some, I think that would be helpful. So yeah, those are my Trompe socks. I think they're coming out really well. I really like them. I'm glad that I chose this pattern because it just has this extra touch. It's not just stripes, right? Like it is essentially, it's just stripes with some slip stitches, but it looks like I put in more effort than I have, and it's just kind of fun, kind of funky, kind of bold. I said in my last episode, I'm knitting bold socks because I'm praying bold prayers, and I just want this person to think of that when they see these socks, and also to see these colors and think, love, care, I'm loved, I'm cared for, everything's going to be all right, which is what we're praying for. Okay, is that everything that I'm actively? I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else I'm working on, and that feels kind of strange. Usually there is a third one. Technically, I do have some whips that I'm not actively working on, so I'm not sharing those. So the last thing I like to do is to get cozy with quotes, get cozy with books, and I do that with quotes. So, or I do that through quotes. So I did take a look before recording this time to pick out a couple quotes. I didn't go back too far. One of the books will be a repeat from last time. And again, it's probably just because of where I'm at in my headspace. I just was like, let me just do something recent. So my first quote is from a book called Nearing a Far God by Leslie Leyland, or don't take my word for that. I'm not sure I'm getting her name right. Maybe I'll pop it up if I'm doing a good job editing. So it's called Nearing a Far God, and it's basically kind of memoir / devotional like, because she's taking you through how God used Psalms in her life through some very key moments in her life. And she's a storyteller, so she tells the stories, and she always inspires me to write my own story. And so I love that about it. But she also, in that book, is inspiring you to read the Psalms and then to kind of write your own through using the format kind of that psalm. So like maybe it's a lament psalm, maybe it's a thanksgiving psalm, maybe it's a petition, or there's different ones. So I've been working my way through that. It's been very good. So if you're a person of Christian faith, that might be something that you might want to look into. It's not conventional. I don't know a lot of people who talk about this woman's books, but she's very good. And if you know who Anne Boskamp is, she's definitely someone who has influenced Anne Boskamp in her storytelling. So, though they're very different writers, I should say that, because I'm not as big of a fan of Anne Boskamp's memoirs. I like The Waymaker. I didn't finish it though. So that is about her story of like adopting one of her kids, I believe. So anyway, so this quote, bear with me, guys. I am here not just because I have the time, but I am wanting to be here with you. And I think like when you are connecting with people, you're going to connect on the on days and the off days. You know, I'm learning to just let things be messy, and things are really messy right now. So thank you for being patient. If you're still here, I really appreciate it. So here's the quote. It says, "When I see only what I lack, forget all that's been lavished, God fades away until he feels as distant as mountains on our horizon." That is definitely my experience. So I had to write that one down. Next quote is from a book, Amusing Ourselves to Death by Neil Postman. I'm smiling because I'm still reading this. I owe it back to library. I need to finish it. But I love this book almost as much as I love Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. It's just so good and it's timely. And in this book, Neil Postman is writing about television. But we've gone far beyond what he's talking about, but it all still applies. Like with the internet and all of that, the internet applies. Like you could read this and just trade in television for internet. And now we have social media. And I think there's more to discuss when you focus on the internet and social media. Like things have gone in so many different directions. Things are transforming in so many, I think, more ways than what he describes here. But I think everything he says here applies and is worth considering. I think the topic is important enough for me to just put this out there for anybody who is willing to think about it and listen and realize this applies to us all. Right. So I have two quotes. The first one is, "Americans are the best entertained and quite likely the least well-informed people in the Western world. I say this in the face of the popular conceit that television as a window to the world has made Americans exceedingly well-informed." So again, like this applies, like how, like if there was any time to be, like we know so much about what's going on all over the globe. We know so much. I can look up all kinds of things about like cancer, even just like we just know we have so much information at our fingertips and yet so little. It's interesting. Okay, my next quote is, "If politics were like a sporting event, there would be several virtues to attach to its name: clarity, honesty, and excellence. But what virtues to attach to politics if Ronald Reagan is right? Show business is not entirely without an idea of excellence, but its main business is to please the crowd, and its principal instrument is artifice. If politics is like show business, then the idea is not to pursue excellence, clarity, or honesty, but to appear as if you are, which is another matter altogether. And what the other matter is can be expressed in one word: advertising. So I just thought that was a really good, I just thought that was really good, and it's timely and it's true. Anyway, I think it's a good book, you guys. It's a good book. If you are here, I know you want to be, and that really means a lot. By the time I see you again, I should have a sweater, I should have socks, I should have cast on something new, like my husband's sweater. I'm thinking of either a pair of socks for myself, or because I'd like to go back and forth, like something for someone else, something for me. Or I might jump right into some socks for my son, because the last ones I knit him, they were great, but they were a little too big, and because of that, he got holes in them really fast, which doesn't happen to my daughter, and it's the same yarn, so I know that's what it has to be, is the gauge, or like how loose it was on his foot, and it would just get snagged on things. We have a hardwood floor, so I think I want to go ahead and knit him a pair of socks. He should get it. So that's it, you guys. I'm excited. I don't think I have any footage for you to like close out our time. I think I'll spare you. I could totally spam you right now with like gardening stuff, but I'll bring it back on sometime soon. I'm still waiting for a few other flowers, my Tithonia, to bloom. So I think once that happens, I will take some footage so you can see what's going on out there. All right, well, I'm gonna get out there and plant some seeds, and I will see you next time. Go ahead, like, subscribe, comment, let me know you were here. Let me know if you made it to the end. But please be kind. Please be kind, guys. Like, what am I thinking? Why would I, when I am feeling the way I'm feeling, when I have all this emotional going on, like, why would I talk about these things? I just can't help it. Like, this is how my mind is. So it's what I get. If people are mean in the comments, it's what I get. But I'm gonna say anyway. Please be kind. Please be kind. I mean well. I do. I'm not judging anyone in regard to this. I am thinking of us all as humans in this interesting world that we're in, with our interesting media. Intrusive often. Okay, I'm about to start on another thing. Okay, let me get off of here. So thank you for being here. I will talk to you later. See you next time.